Nobody knew that in that exact moment, Erin was about to lose her own life by keeping the promise that held her family together. She sat at the dinner table, her fork scraping against the plate. Her mother's complaints, her father's silence, her brother's scrolling, this was normal. This was Tuesday. Erin, tell your father he needs to fix the car. Erin, can you help me with my project? Erin, did you call your grandmother? She nodded to all of it. She always did. At 20, studying psychology, working part-time, she was the emotional shock absorber of a family that refused to talk to each other directly. The translator. The mediator. The fixer. But nobody noticed, Erin was disappearing. Missing classes for her mother's panic attacks. Skipping study groups for her brother's homework. Canceling plans because family dinner was mandatory, even though nobody actually talked. Her phone buzzed. Her study partner, where are you? This is the third time. Family emergency. Sorry. It wasn't even a lie anymore. Every day was an emergency only she could solve. Her mother's anxiety, her father's withdrawal, her brother's irresponsibility, all of it piled on her shoulders like snow that never melted. This didn't happen overnight. At 8 years old, she'd found her mother crying at midnight. Brought her water, listened, soothed. You're such a good girl, Erin. You always know what to say. That was the moment she learned her value was in fixing other people's pain. 12 years later, she was still fixing. Still disappearing. Her psychology professor had talked about enmeshment. About how some families don't have boundaries, how one person becomes responsible for everyone's emotions. Erin took notes mechanically, not realizing she was writing her own case study. At work, her coworker Jamie noticed. When's the last time you did something just for you? Erin couldn't answer. She genuinely couldn't remember. Her phone rang. Her mother. I need you to come home. Your father and I had a fight. Mom, I can't just leave work. Silence. The silence of disappointment. Of how could you abandon me? Fine. I guess I'll handle this alone. Like I handle everything alone. Guilt crashed over her. She knew this game, but knowing didn't make it hurt less. That night, she translated between her parents for 2 hours. By the time they were speaking again, she felt like a ghost. Her assignment was due in 6 hours. She'd written 1 paragraph. Her chest tightened. Panic attack. 3rd one this month. Nobody asked if she was okay. Nobody noticed the dark circles, the shaking hands, the 12 pounds lost. Then something shifted. Friday afternoon, her professor said, in dysfunctional family systems, one person often sacrifices their own development to maintain family homeostasis. This is not love. This is exploitation. Exploitation. The word echoed all day. Through work, through dinner, through her mother's crisis and her brother's demands. That night, she turned off her phone. The silence was terrifying. But she sat in it and let herself feel everything she'd been pushing down. The rage. The exhaustion. The loneliness of being surrounded by family but completely unseen. When she turned it back on, 47 messages. 47 demands. Not one person asked how she was. Something inside her broke. Or finally healed. The next morning, she sat her family down. I can't do this anymore. I'm drowning and nobody sees it. Oh, here we go. Drama, her father muttered. This isn't drama. This is me telling you I'm not okay. Her mother's eyes filled with tears. After everything I've done for you? But this time, Aaron didn't flinch. I love you. But I can't save you. I can't even save myself right now. I need space. The explosion was immediate. Accusations. Tears. Selfish. Ungrateful. Ruining everything. She sat through it, shaking but steady. 3 days later, she moved into a tiny apartment with Jamie. Her family didn't speak to her for 2 weeks. Then the guilt trip started. But Aaron was learning boundaries. Her therapist kept asking, at what cost? At what cost to fix everyone else? Her education? Her mental health? Her future? Herself? The answer was too high. Months passed. Erin started sleeping through the night. Her grades improved. She discovered she liked painting, she'd never had time before. Her family slowly learned to function without using her as their emotional crutch. Her parents started therapy. Her brother managed his own responsibilities. They were messier without her, but more real. One day, drinking coffee with Jamie, she realized she'd spent 20 years thinking love meant sacrifice. That being needed was the same as being loved. But real love doesn't consume. It doesn't take everything and leave you empty. Real love sees you. Respects your limits. She was still learning. Still healing. But for the first time, she was doing it for herself. The girl who held everyone together finally learned to hold herself. Here's what you need to understand: your worth isn't measured by how much you can carry for others. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is put down the weight you were never meant to hold. You can't save people who don't want to save themselves. And choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's survival.